3 or 4 times a year, retired nurse anesthetist Steve James finds himself in Kenya. Anything but retired.
Even if I'm in a wheelchair, I don't want to retire. I have no desire to retire. I want to do this until God tells me to stop. The boys' dorm.
Steve is the founder and visionary of Kenya Relief, a nonprofit in rural western Kenya. But really, what is this white guy doing running around half a world away from home?
Did you ever have any desire to travel or to go to Africa?
No. I'm from Alabama. I didn't really think much about going anywhere. I mean, I love to travel, but Africa was not on my menu.
Okay. So what actually brought you here?
Well, I did think everything was going well. I mean, I was living the American dream, and 3 days after 9/11, I got terrible news. My wife and I that my middle child, my daughter Brittany, was found dead in her apartment. And it was the most crushing blow that I've ever experienced.
There was no formula for moving forward. Steve started searching for meaning in Brittany's death, and what he found was one of her dreams. You see, she'd been sponsoring a Kenyan child for 3 years, had always wanted to meet him. And so 8,000 miles later,
I met him, and he was real. One of the greatest days of my life. But while I was here, I was exposed to things I'd never seen before. I worked in a hospital here and saw so much heartache and suffering.
He was back within the year, friends from the medical field in tow, and holding a makeshift clinic under a tree. But for a population with little access to adequate health care, Steve says it was like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. And so he kept coming back to build something much better than a Band-Aid.
Okay, Steve, what did we just see there in the clinic?
Woo, we just saw the completion of our 16th goiter for the day in one of our 4 operating rooms. Our surgeons, anesthetists, and nurses have done a fabulous job removing those goiters today. But, that's just an example of one team of the 22 that come with Kenya Relief each year.
Turns out, compassion is contagious. Steve has now mobilized thousands of medical professionals to treat more than 110,000 patients in their very own clinic. Just in case you thought that was impressive, they've also built a school that educates 570 local students and a home for 99 orphaned children, Brittany's home of grace.
It's like seeing your own children grow up. It makes your heart want to explode when you see a child who came from desperate situation. Now they have life.
Nope, we're not finished yet. Steve has partnered with local government to address tribal conflicts, started an outreach to people with disabilities, and created a prison ministry. And there's no sign of stopping.
I feel like we're just getting warmed up. It's like the tip of the iceberg.
Because it seems the more people that see healing and hope, the more it brings him back to Brittany.
A lot of what I do is driven by her character. She would want her daddy to be loving and to be caring.
Do you feel like you see her here in this?
Yeah, I do. I see her. I see her when the children tell me that they know her.
One precious life lost has saved the lives of so many others.
What she would have wanted, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll fight for that.
In Migori, Kenya, this is Amy Montalvo with The Good News.